My name is Lina. I am 35 years old. I work in a small clinic in the city. I am a nurse. Every day, I help sick people. I clean wounds, give medicine, and talk to patients. My job is not easy, but I like it very much. I feel happy when I help someone feel better. I work many hours. Sometimes I work in the morning, and sometimes I work at night. My body feels tired, but my heart feels warm. Before last year, my life was very simple. I lived alone in a small apartment near the clinic. I did not have a boyfriend. I did not go out a lot. After work, I often went home, took a shower, and slept. On my days off, I visited my father. He lives in a quiet village outside the city. He's getting old, so I like to help him with cooking and cleaning. We sit together, drink tea, and talk about simple things. Those moments made me feel calm. I did not think much about love. I thought love was not for me. I believed I was just an ordinary woman. I am not very slim. I do not wear beautiful dresses. I do not spend time on makeup. My hair is short and simple. I always thought men would not notice someone like me. So, I focused only on my job and my family. One day, everything started to change. A new doctor came to our clinic. His name was Daniel. He was 32 years old, 3 years younger than me. When I first saw him, I was surprised. He was tall and had soft black hair. His eyes were dark, and his smile was warm. Many nurses started talking about him. They said he was handsome and kind. At first, I did not pay much attention. I thought, he is a doctor. He will talk to other beautiful women, not me. So, I continued my work as usual. I did not try to talk to him. But something unexpected happened. One afternoon, I was very busy. There were many patients, and I was running from room to room. Suddenly, I heard someone call my name. "Lina, do you need help?" I turned around. It was Daniel. I felt a little nervous. "Oh, no, it's okay. I can do it," I said. But he smiled and said, "We are a team. Let me help you." From that moment, things slowly changed. Daniel started talking to me more often. Every day, he greeted me with a smile. He asked me simple questions like, "How are you today?" Or, "Are you tired?" Sometimes he made small jokes, and I laughed. I was surprised because I usually did not laugh much at work. I did not understand why he talked to me so much. There were many other nurses, younger and more beautiful. But he chose to sit next to me during lunch. He chose to talk to me. One evening, after a long shift, I was waiting for the bus. I felt very tired. My feet hurt, and I just wanted to go home. Then a car stopped in front of me. The window opened, and I saw Daniel. "Lina, where are you going?" he asked. "I'm going home," I said. "Get in. I can drive you," he said kindly. At first, I was not sure, but I was very tired, so I said yes. I got into his car. It was clean and smelled nice. Soft music was playing. I felt a little shy. We started talking. We talked about work, about our daily lives, and about our families. I told him about my father. He told me about his life in the city. He spoke in a calm and friendly way. I felt comfortable with him. I forgot my tiredness. When we arrived at my apartment, I said, "Thank you." He smiled and said, "You're welcome. See you tomorrow." That night, I could not stop thinking about him. After that day, Daniel often offered to drive me home. Sometimes he brought me coffee in this morning. Sometimes he saved me a seat in the cafeteria. We spent more time together, and I started to feel something new in my heart. I began to wait for him every day. I wanted to see his smile. When he was not around, I felt a little sad. When he talked to me, I felt happy and warm. One weekend he asked me, "Lina, do you want to go out with me?" I was surprised. "Go out?" I asked. "Yes," he said. "We both have a day off. Maybe we can watch a movie." My heart started beating fast. I felt nervous, but also excited. I said, "Okay." That day felt special. I wore my best clothes. I looked at myself in the mirror many times. I was not perfect, but I wanted to look nice. We met in front of the cinema. He smiled when he saw me. "You look nice," he said. I felt shy and said, "Thank you." We watched a movie together. After that, we walked in the park. The weather was cool and the sky was beautiful. We talked for a long time. I felt very happy. I forgot all my worries. For the first time in many years, I felt like I was not alone. I thought, maybe he likes me. And deep in my heart, I knew. I was starting to like him too. After that beautiful day, my feelings started to grow stronger. Every morning, I woke up with a small smile. I felt excited to go to work. Before, work was only work. But now, it felt different. I knew I would see Daniel, and that made my day brighter. At the clinic, we spent more time together. We talked between patients. Sometimes we shared lunch. Sometimes we just sat quietly, but it still felt comfortable. I did not feel nervous around him anymore. I felt like I could be myself. Daniel was always kind to me. He listened carefully when I spoke. He remembered small things about me, like my favorite tea or the stories about my father. These little things made my heart feel warm. One evening, after work, we walked together again. The streets were quiet, and the lights were soft. I felt peaceful walking next to him. "Lina," he said gently, "I really enjoy spending time with you." I looked at him and smiled. "Me too," I said softly. At that moment, I felt something deep inside me. I felt happy, but also a little scared. I was not used to these feelings. Days passed, and everything seemed perfect. But then, something unexpected happened. One afternoon, Daniel asked me to sit with him in a quiet room at the clinic. His face looked serious. I felt nervous. "Lina, I need to tell you something," he said. My heart started beating fast. "What is it?" I asked. He took a deep breath and looked at me. "I am married." I felt like time stopped. "You are married?" I repeated slowly. He nodded. "Yes. I have been married for 4 years. My wife's name is Emily." I could not speak for a moment. My mind felt empty. I did not expect this. He never talked about a wife. He never wore a ring. He never gave me any sign. "I didn't know," I said quietly. "I know," he replied. "I'm sorry. I didn't tell you before." I felt confused and hurt. "Why didn't you tell me?" I asked. He looked down. "Because I didn't want to lose you. I like talking to you. I feel happy with you." His words made my heart shake. He continued, "My marriage is not good. Emily and I are very different. We don't talk much. We don't spend time together. We're like strangers in the same house." I listened, but my thoughts were all over the place. "With you," he said, "I feel alive. I can be myself. You understand me." I did not know what to say. Part of me felt happy hearing those words, but another part of me felt uncomfortable. Something did not feel right. I asked slowly, "Does your wife know about me?" He quickly said, "No, of course not." That answer made my heart heavy. After that conversation, everything felt different. I went home, but I could not relax. I sat on my bed and thought for a long time. Why is he spending time with me? I asked myself. If he has a wife, why does he act like this with me? I felt confused. I liked him so much, but I did not want to be part of something wrong. The next few days were very hard for me. At work, Daniel acted the same. He smiled, talked, and stayed close to me. But I was not the same. I felt nervous. I did not know how to act. Sometimes I wanted to stay close to him, but sometimes I wanted to walk away. One day, something happened that made everything more clear. It was my day off. I went to a large supermarket in the city to buy food. The place was busy. People were walking everywhere. I was pushing my cart slowly, thinking about what to buy. Suddenly, I heard a familiar voice. It was Daniel. My heart jumped. I turned my head and saw him, but he was not alone. He was standing next to a woman. I quickly stopped and looked from a distance. I did not want him to see me. The woman next to him was very beautiful. She was tall and slim. Her hair was long and shiny. She wore elegant clothes. She looked confident and calm. They were talking and laughing together. I felt a pain in my chest. That must be his wife, I thought. They looked happy, very happy. Daniel was smiling in a way I had seen before, the same smile he gave me. I felt confused again. If he is not happy, I thought, then why does he look like this with her? I could not understand. I felt like I was standing in the wrong place, like I was watching something I should not see. I quickly turned around and left the supermarket. I did not buy anything. I just wanted to go home. When I arrived home, I sat quietly in my room. My heart felt heavy. Why? I asked myself again and again. Why does he talk to me like I am special? Why does he spend time with me if he already has someone? Why do I feel like this? I looked at myself in the mirror. I'm just a simple woman, I whispered. Why me? That night, I could not sleep. I kept thinking about Daniel, about his wife, about everything. I realized something important. I was not happy anymore. Before, I felt excited to see him. But now, I felt worried. I felt unsure. I felt like I was doing something wrong, even if I did not plan it. I did not want to hurt another person. I did not want to be the reason someone feels pain. But at the same time, I could not ignore my feelings. The next day, I went to work feeling tired and sad. When I saw Daniel, he smiled like always. But this time, I could not smile back. I knew I had to talk to him. I needed to understand the truth, And more importantly, I needed to understand my own heart. That morning, everything felt heavy inside me. My body was at work, but my mind was full of questions. I tried to focus on my patients, but it was not easy. Every time I saw Daniel, my heart felt uncomfortable. He walked toward me with his usual warm smile. "Good morning, Lina," he said. I looked at him, but I could not smile. "Good morning," I replied softly. He stopped for a moment. I think he felt something was wrong. "Are you okay?" he asked. I took a deep breath. "We need to talk," I said. He looked surprised, but he nodded. "Okay." Later, we went to a quiet room in the clinic. The room was small and silent. I could hear my own heartbeat. I looked at him and said, "I saw you yesterday." His face changed. "Where?" he asked. "At the supermarket," I said. "You were with your wife." He looked down for a moment. Then he said quietly, "I see." "You looked happy," I continued. "You were laughing. You looked normal." He did not answer right away. "I don't understand," I said. "You told me you're not happy. But yesterday, you looked very happy with her." Daniel sighed and sat down. "Lina," he said, "things are not always what they look like." I felt a little angry. "Then what is the truth?" I asked. He looked at me. "The truth is, my marriage is complicated. Yes, sometimes we laugh. Sometimes we act like everything is okay. But inside, it is not the same." I listened, but my heart was still confused. He continued, "We don't talk deeply. We don't share our feelings. We live together, but we are far from each other." "And with me?" I asked. "With you, I feel different," he said. "I feel peace. I feel understood. I can be honest with you." His words were soft, but they made my heart feel heavy. I said slowly, "But you are still married." "Yes," he said, "and your wife does not know about me." He looked away. "No, she doesn't." There was silence between us. I felt a mix of emotions. I liked him, I cared about him, but I also felt something was wrong. "Daniel," I said, "what do you want?" He looked at me confused. "What do you mean?" "I mean, what do you really want?" I asked. "Do you want to stay with your wife? Or do you want something else?" He did not answer quickly. That made everything clear to me. "I don't know," he finally said. That answer hurt more than anything. I nodded slowly. "That is the problem," I said. He looked at me with sad eyes. "Lina, I don't want to lose you." I took a deep breath. "But you might lose me anyway," I said. He looked shocked. "Why?" "Because I don't want to live like this," I said. "I don't want to be the second person in someone's life. I don't want to hide. I don't want to feel guilty." He stood up and walked closer to me. "You are not second," he said. But I shook my head. "Yes, I am," I replied. "You go home to your wife. You live your life with her. And then you come to me for comfort. That is not fair." He was silent. I continued, "I did not plan to like you. It just happened. But now, I need to think about myself." He looked at me with pain in his eyes. "I care about you, Lina. You are important to me. I felt tears in my eyes, but I stayed strong. I care about you too, I said. But this situation is not right. There was a long silence. Then I said the words that were very hard for me. I need space. He looked at me like he did not understand. Space? Yes, I said. I need time to think. I need to understand what is best for me. He slowly nodded. Okay, he said quietly. I think you also need time, I added. You need to think about your marriage, about your wife, about what you really want. He did not argue. He just looked sad. I never wanted to hurt you, he said. I know, I replied, and I never wanted to be in this situation. We stood there for a moment. It felt like everything was changing. I will give you space, he said, but please remember, you are special to me. I did not answer. I just nodded. Then I turned around and walked out of the room. That day felt very long. At work, we did not talk much. We stayed professional. It felt strange, like something important was missing. After work, I went home alone. The streets felt quiet. My heart felt heavy. When I entered my apartment, I sat down and closed my eyes. I felt both sad and strong at the same time. Sad, because I missed him. Strong, because I knew I was doing the right thing. That night, I called my best friend, Maya. She listened carefully as I told her everything. After I finished, she said, Lina, you did the right thing. But it hurts, I said. Yes, she replied gently. The right choice is not always easy, but you deserve someone who can be with you fully, not halfway. Her words stayed in my heart. Over the next few days, I tried to focus on my life again. I worked. I visited my father. I tried to keep my mind busy. But sometimes I still thought about Daniel. I thought about his smile, his voice, and the moments we shared. But I also remembered the truth. He was not free, and I needed someone who could choose me completely. 1 week later, my phone rang. It was Daniel. I looked at the screen for a long time. My heart started beating fast again. I knew this conversation would change everything. My phone was still ringing. I looked at the screen and I saw Daniel's name. My heart was beating fast. My hand felt a little cold. I did not know if I should answer or not. After a few seconds, I took a deep breath and answered the call. Hello, I said quietly. Lina, hi. Daniel's voice sounded soft and a little nervous. Hi, I replied. There was a short silence. Then he said, Can we meet? I want to talk to you. I closed my eyes for a moment. I knew this moment would come. Okay, I said. We can meet. We decided to meet at a small park near the clinic. It was the same park where we walked together before. That place had many memories for me. When I arrived, I saw him sitting on a bench. He looked serious, not like before, not relaxed, not smiling. I walked slowly toward him. Hi, I said. He stood up. Hi, Lina. We sat down on the bench. The air was quiet. I could hear birds and soft wind in the trees. For a moment, no one spoke. Then he looked at me and said, "I missed you." My heart moved a little, but I stayed calm. "I missed you too," I said honestly. He took a deep breath. "I have been thinking a lot," he said, "about you, about my life, about everything." I listened carefully. "I realized something," he continued. "I cannot keep living like this. It is not fair to you. It is not fair to my wife." I felt nervous. "What do you mean?" I asked. He looked at his hands, then back at me. "I talked to Emily," he said. I was surprised. "You did?" He nodded. "Yes. We had a long conversation, a very honest one." My heart started beating faster. "I told her the truth," he said. "I told her that I am not happy, that something is missing in our marriage." I listened without speaking. "It was not easy," he said. She was sad. I was sad too, but we both understood that we have been unhappy for a long time. I felt many emotions at the same time. "What will happen now?" I asked slowly. He took a deep breath. We decided to separate. I looked at him, surprised and quiet. "We both think it is the best decision," he added. "We don't want to keep living a life that is not real." There was silence between us again. Then he looked at me with hope in his eyes. "Lina," he said, "I want to be honest with you. I care about you. I want to try a real relationship with you. Not in secret, not in confusion. Something true." My heart felt warm, but also careful. I looked at him and asked, "Are you sure?" "Yes," he said, "but I also know I need time. This is a big change. I don't want to rush. I want to do things the right way." His words were different now, more calm, more real. I thought about everything. I thought about the past weeks, the confusion, the pain, the questions. I thought about his wife, about how she must feel, and I thought about myself. I took a deep breath. "Daniel," I said, "thank you for being honest." He looked at me, waiting. "I care about you too," I continued. "But I also learned something important." He listened carefully. "I learned that I must respect myself," I said. "I cannot be in a situation that makes me feel unsure or second." He nodded slowly. "So now," I said, "I think we should take things slowly. You need time to finish your past. I need time to feel safe again." He smiled a little. "I understand." "I don't want to jump into something quickly," I added. "I want something real, something clear, something honest." "That's what I want too," he said. For the first time in many days, I felt peaceful. We sat together quietly. The sun was going down. The sky was soft and orange. "I'm glad we talked," he said. "Me too," I replied. We both stood up. This time, when we said goodbye, it felt different. Not sad, not heavy, just calm. As I walked home, I thought about everything that happened. This experience was not easy. It was full of confusion and emotion. But it taught me something very important. Love is not only about feelings. Love is also about respect, about honesty, about making the right choices even when it is hard. Sometimes people cheat not because someone is better, but because something is missing inside them. But that is not my responsibility to fix. I deserve someone who is ready, someone who chooses me fully, not halfway, not in secret. That night, I looked at myself in the mirror again, but this time I smiled. I understand now, I said softly. I'm enough, just the way I am, and I will wait for the right love. If you enjoy the story, please like, subscribe, and share.